please excuse the sunglasses. The sun is out here and it's really bright, so here we are. But this video is going to be about why I've decided to be child-free by choice. The first reason that I think a lot of people will understand is I am the oldest of all of my parents' children. And I say parents because you know how sometimes your dad goes and just yeah. But I grew up as the oldest in a house of 4 children. And if you know anything about that, you know that when the father isn't around, somebody's got to be, doing the stuff when mom's out making money to pay the bills. So, hello, I am somebody. And for me personally, it really drove home just how much goes into taking care of children. Thankfully, I didn't have to do it firsthand for myself. I was just taking care of my siblings. But I realized that it's a lot more than I think many people really think about. And so that was huge for me. But separate from that, the major reason for me is the freedom. If you know me, you know that I am a spontaneous person. I like being able to just get up and do something as soon as I decide to do it. And because I don't have children, my lifestyle really allows for that. I don't have to do any extra planning. I don't have to look for sitters or anything like that. And so I really appreciate the freedom. And then another thing is the ability to prioritize my dreams and passions. I, for one, have never been much of a dreamer. I didn't consider myself to be a dreamer, but now that I'm getting closer to being free from this job, I have so many ideas and things that I want to at least try out that I'm more open to and able to do because, like I said, my responsibilities are very few. Like, just take care of myself. That's it. So, love that. And then in that same vein, I would say lower expenses is a major thing for me because I'm by myself, I can accept a lower paying job that might not cause as much stress versus a 6-figure job that is going to have me crying in the corner every day. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to do that. So yeah, and because of that, I also have more money available to use on what some might call frivolous things. I love to dance. I will go sign up for some dance classes in a minute. I plan to start taking cooking classes. And yeah, so a lot of people might look at that and be like, girl, really? Yes, really. And because my expenses are lower, I have more disposable income available to use on things like that, of course aren't priorities for a lot of people, but they mean a lot to me. And so that's that. Speaking of, the other major reason for me is financial freedom. I am very much invested in financial independence and financial freedom. I need that. I want that. I have been chasing that, and I will continue to pursue it until I have it. Now, it's obvious that raising children requires money, and just how much you can look up estimates from different agencies to see what they've come up with. But I've seen every number that I've seen about how much money it costs to raise a child has been at least $200,000. And of course, this is from like the time they're young to when they're adults. And you can't adequately say this is exactly how much it'll cost because the circumstances are different, children are different, their needs are different. But all I know is it requires a lot of money that I don't have to spend because I don't have children. And another important thing for me is my mental and emotional well-being. I've had this conversation with one of my close friends a few times actually, and it's like we work at these jobs that really just drain our energy to the point where we get home and we really don't feel like doing anything. Like cooking, who's trying to do that? And because it's just me, I don't necessarily feel bad about not being on and not having the energy to do things. Whereas if I were responsible for someone else, I feel like it would be on me to be present for that child. And so, yeah, I think it's best for everyone involved if I just keep my time to myself and show up when I can for the other people in my life. So, yeah, those are the most important reasons for me. Ultimately, this is a very personal choice, so you don't even have to have a laundry list of reasons. You can just wake up one day and say, I don't want no kids, and that's valid enough. So this is not a justification required kind of thing. But if you have also made the decision to be child free, I'm very curious about what your reasons were, if you are open to sharing. And if you have had children and say you're an empty nester right now, have you noticed anything that you're able to do more of now that you aren't raising children? I'm very curious about that. And then also, if you may not be an empty nester quite yet, let's say you do have kids that you're still actively raising, were there things that you noticed, like certain freedoms that you had that you didn't have as much of once you had the child? I ask because I've encountered several people who, like, once they have kids, their hobbies and stuff fall by the wayside, and so I'm getting the feeling that it's kind of a common thing. And I guess that's a good note to end on. So I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.